Greetings, 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 YouTube. We're back here again doing another nerd report, and I've come across two articles today, but they all are all interlinked together. And to my surmise and my surprise, both words, SpaceX has become a Karen of the telecom industry. Who would ever thought that good old Elon Musk, SpaceX would be a Karen? But before we get into it, hit subscribe, hit like, and then also stay for the story. So, the reason why I'm doing a story on this one is because of this right here. The FCC to investigate EchoStar's 5G. So, if you know anything about the cellular industry right now, EchoStar slash Dish slash Charlie Ergen jumped into the the 5G fray with the merger of T-Mobile and Sprint merging. So they had to build a network. Questionably, how they had to build it, I have a different theory, but they went their separate ways from T-Mobile, and in doing so, they had to pretty much do everything on their own. Now, fast forward to today, and now the FCC is to investigate EchoStar because they might be shortcutting some of the requirements for their deployment for 5G. One of the biggest problems was how was a company going to come out of the blue basically going to build a network from scratch? That's what they wanted to tout themselves. There was some pre-checks along the way that they had to fulfill to be able to, keep the spectrum, not get fined, a whole bunch of stuff. But the reason why the FCC is coming back around to investigate them is because SpaceX is trying to snitch on them. So SpaceX basically is saying that, hey, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing with your spectrum. And part of the reason is they want to get into the whole cellular game due to the fact that they're starting to put up all these satellites in space, and I think they smell blood in the water with one particular company being EchoStar. So, first part is FCC investigates EchoStar for 5G. Part of the reason why this has come back up again is due to the fact that it's been surmised that the network is not exactly what they say it is. The EchoStar has a couple of how can I say it? They got a couple of cellular bands. They got a whole bunch of cellular bands, but they're not really as useful if you don't really how can I say it? How you can gravitate towards using it. Now, one of the things that SpaceX has been arguing is that the FCC is that EchoStar is not utilizing the 2 gigahertz band. I think it's in band 70 for its full use, and that they want the FCC to investigate this. Now, there was an investigation, kind of like a driving test to see if they are truly offering 5G services. That's basically just driving around with a phone saying, hey, I got a signal. Yay, yay, hip, hooray. But in the article, basically, the FCC is saying maybe we do have to go back and take a look at this and find out whether or not are you truly deploying a network or are you just doing the bare minimum, because they feel that even with like EchoStar acquiring Dish, which is still a Charlie Ergen's company, they were able to delay certain certain points that they had to require for them to hit. So now you got SpaceX jumping in going, nanny, 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 you ain't doing what you're supposed to. So in the second article, the reason behind SpaceX's drive to try to get underneath EchoStar's skin is for the spectrum itself. So this one is from PC Mag, and SpaceX revealed a revised battle with EchoStar over spectrum it wants for a cellular Starlink. So they want what EchoStar has. Remember, SpaceX is teamed up with T-Mobile to offer cellular from space. And I guess through all their testing that they've been doing and using that spectrum, and it's only like a 5 megahertz slice from T-Mobile, they see a lot of potential to offer services nationwide for themselves. So it looks like they're going after the weakest in the shark-infested waters, and they see EchoStar as being the easiest to take down. So SpaceX is kind of going after EchoStar for the pettiest of things from the looks of it. But EchoStar kind of opened themselves up to this problem by not fully showing that they are deploying their services, if that becomes the case. But you can honestly see that Charlie Ergen kind of got in above his skis. I have a theory behind why it became that way, but I'll save that for a podcast or a different discussion. But for the most part, SpaceX is going after them because they want that spectrum, and that spectrum is a large chunk. So the chunk that they're using for T-Mobile is only 5 megahertz. The chunk that EchoStar has that they want to get a hold of, and they're asking the FCC to yank it from them, is a 20 megahertz chunk of spectrum. And that's not a shy chunk. You could push, hundreds of megs, 2, 3, 400 megs through that, even from space, if you get a nice chunk of it. They're doing, 20, 30 megs theoretically with only 5 megahertz from space. So imagine if you get a hold of a 20 megahertz chunk and you able to, offer better services. But I'm just surprised from my point of view that SpaceX is being very aggressive right now, of all days, that they are literally getting the police to do their dirty work for them. But I guess they see a weakened 5G competitor and they want to go after them. But I'm curious to see what's going to start happening soon. What say you? Down in the comments below, let me know what you might think is about to transpire. Do you see SpaceX able to get a hold of this? Do you see them not succeeding? Do you see, Charlie Ergen weathering this storm like all the rest of the other little storms that's come his way? I'm curious. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think. And y'all have a good one.